Hi guys and welcome back to my channel, or should I say hello, because today's tutorial is going to be the Adele Hello music video inspired tutorial. That was a mouthful. And so I'm going to be using drugstore products only, and you know Adele's really famous for a really strong wing liner and really flawless skin with a chiseled cheekbones, so that's what today's look is going to be. And I'm using drugstore products only, like I said, so let's go on with it. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, because then you'll never miss a video. And also, if you do like this video, then give it a thumbs up. I will leave everything you need to know in the description bar down below, along with like my social media and all the products I've used and etc, etc, etc. So go check that out. Right, let's get on with it. So I've already started by cleansing my face, and I've moisturised, and I've let my moisturiser soak into my skin for about 5 minutes. So now I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Nude Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer. You don't have to do this step. I'm just doing it to try and, where I've got some deep pores and some acne scarring, just to use this a bit just to blur them out a tiny bit. So I'm just taking a pea-sized amount, dropping it around the face, and then taking my Real Techniques buffing brush just to buff it in around the skin. Now I wouldn't say this completely gets rid of my deep scarring or any deep pores. It does a tiny bit, but you can't notice like an amazing difference. But you know, it does a tiny bit, so. Now I don't know if it picks up on camera. If I come a bit closer, you can see I've got quite a bit of redness and spots at the minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take concealer first. I'm only going to take a tiny bit this run out, and this is the Collection Lasting Perfection one in Fair. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand for hygiene reasons. So I'm just taking the brush. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I take a damp Real Techniques sponge, and just take a bit of this concealer and just dab it where I've got all that spots. Could take a bit on my eyes as well because they're quite bad. And then I'm just going to blend it in. Now I'm not going to blend it in fully because I'm going to go in foundation after, so when I'm buffing the foundation that will also buff the concealer in. But I just want that extra coverage just in these areas where I'm really red. Because what I do tend to do is, if I've got like, I'm having a bad skin day, I put lots and lots of foundation on. If I don't put a concealer on first, I'll put lots of foundation on because I'll think, oh, I need to cover it up. But no, put a tiny bit of concealer on first, put a small amount of foundation on, and you can always build up with more concealer or foundation. That's what I personally found works better for me, to make my face look less cakey, but also to allow my makeup to last really long. So, foundation, I'm taking the Rimmel London Lasting Finish one in 100 Ivory. Couple of pumps on the back of my hand. Real Techniques buffing brush. Buff it into the skin. This foundation is quite like the Revlon Colour Stay, but I think it's a little bit more with a satin finish. They're both really nice foundations and quite cheap as well, so it's great. So I'm just patting, like stippling the brush where I need that extra more coverage. It's just going to press that foundation on where we need it. Because when you're buffing it around, it's moving the foundation around, whereas if you want it in a specific area, you need to press it. I just have my eyebrows better, and she's done this one so thin compared to the other. I don't know if it shows up. Look how thin that one is compared to that one. Now I'm going to conceal under the eyes, and I'm using the Last Time Perfection one in the shade 2. I've used this concealer for years and years, and I really want to try a new concealer, but I always get worried because I want the thickness and the long lasting. So perhaps you could recommend me some good drugstore concealers that have really good coverage and last a long time. Because I mainly suffer with covering up my eye bags. Like sometimes my eye bags are that bad we could start charging 5p for them. Taking my Real Techniques damp, what is it? Beauty blend? No, it's called different into Miracle Complexion Sponge is the Real Techniques one, isn't it? So I'm just bouncing this around over that concealer to blend it in. Then, as you can see, what I'm doing is once I've blended that concealer in, I'll just dab the complexion sponge around the rest of my face. This is just so I make sure everything's really nicely blended. It's really important that you get a really good solid base on first, and then you find that the rest of your makeup just goes on so much easier. Okay, now what I'm going to do is going to comb through my eyebrows. Now this is the only drugstore product I'm not using, and this is a Naked Urban Decay Basics palette. I'm just using these two brown shades mixed together to make my eyebrow colour. Now actually, if you do have this palette, this will do you great for just the rest of the eye makeup look. So it might come useful if you do have it already. If not, doesn't matter. You fill in with what you want. What? You fill in your eyebrows with what you want and what works for you. I like to take the eyeshadow on a MAC 263 brush and gently, in light feathery strokes, fill them in. So I just took a little bit more of that lighter shade of the concealer just to highlight underneath my eye area. I decided just with that number 2 concealer on, it wasn't quite bright enough under there. Right, now I'm going to contour my cheekbones using the Makeup Revolution, the Matte Effect Cover and Conceal in the shade The Darkest. From the top of your ear to about the corner of your eye. You don't want to bring it too far down, because that can really age your face. So it's going to work best if you just here, go down here, just to about here. Just taking a tiny bit around the head. And again, a tiny bit underneath the jawline. But I'm mainly concentrating it on my cheekbones. Then I'm taking a clean Real Techniques buffing brush and I'm going to buff it in. I'm going to set everything, and I'm going to be taking the Natural Collection loose powder in Neutral Translucent. Now I'm going to take in the Real Techniques, I don't know what this is, what it's called, drop off it. It's a duo fibrous. I'm just going to powder underneath the eyes and practically all over the face. Now the reason I've started using a duo fibrous is because I can be a bit heavy handed with the powder, and especially this Natural Collection one, it's very powdery, if that's like, if you know what I mean. It looks very powdery on the skin, so I only need a tiny amount and I'm very heavy handed with the powder. So using a duo fibre brush is going to limit the stuff you put on your face. The stuff you put on the face. Okay, now I'm going to do the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to start off by highlighting the brow bone. You can do this last if you want, I just prefer to do it first. I'm taking the Rimmel London 100 Glam Ice eyeshadow. Just on a Real Techniques fluffy brush. And I'm just highlighting underneath that brow bone. Okay, so now I'm taking Natural Collections eyeshadow in Milk Chocolate on a SORRRRY crease shadow brush. And this is going to be our transition shade. So I'm starting at the crease and just doing wind wiper motions. I'm going to blend this. I'm taking Natural Collection eyeshadow in Crushed Walnut on a Real Techniques by shadow brush. Now, Adele has got more space between her eye and her eyebrow. I've got quite hooded eyes, so like winged eyeliner doesn't really suit me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dark brown just above where my natural crease is to recreate my crease. This is just a little bit of a trick just to make your eyes look that bit bigger. Then going back in with my blending brush. Now I'm taking a Bourjois eyeshadow in 74. That's just a dark brown. Taking this on the same Real Techniques brush, and I'm just using this again to emphasise my crease. Then out of the Makeup Revolution Redemption Palette Icon 1, I'm taking this warm brown shade here, just on that same blending brush. I'm just using this to blend all them eyeshadows together. Taking my Maybelline Colour 2 in Cream de Nude 93. It's just a cream matte eyeshadow. And I'm just putting this all over the mobile lid. So now the Makeup Revolution Redemption Palette Icon 2, I'm taking these two cream shades. Is that focusing? Taking these two cream shades mixed together on just a fluffy brush. And I'm just putting this all over where we put the cream tattoo part. Then to blend them all together, I'm just taking that same crease brush and I'm going to take that warm brown shade out of the Makeup Revolution palette, just put a tiny bit of that underneath the eye. And now for the eyeliner, which is possibly the trickiest part. So if you're not very good at eyeliner, what I'm going to show you is a trick to hopefully ease the eyeliner experience, if you'd like to say that. So what you're going to need is an angled brush and take a matte black eyeshadow. I've got a Natural Collection one here. Basically, you're going to trace the line where you want the eyeliner. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Could use a kohl pencil to do this, but I much prefer just using an eyeshadow. I find it a lot easier. So it curves over quite a bit. The eyeshadow comes up quite high in the centre. See, I just don't like winged eyeliner on me because I've got two hooded eyes for it. But if you've got quite big eyes, then it looks so beautiful. Liquid eyeliner. This is the Collection Fast Stroke one. Use whatever you prefer, which is easiest for you. I prefer the brush on this. I find it very easy to apply and it's quite cheap and it's really good. So I'm just going to trace over where we put that black. I don't really drag my eyeshadow, my eyeliner. I always like tap the brush. I think this is why I like the tip of this eyeliner. Okay, so now let's put mascara on. I'm taking the Maybelline Lash Sensation one. Okay, so now for eyelashes, and I'm going to apologise, I've lost the box for these, but they're the eyeliner ones and they go a bit thicker towards the end. As the glue dries on the eyelash, I'm taking the Maybelline Brow Drama in medium brown. I'm just going to comb this through my brows. I've got a Rimmel London nude eyeliner. I'm just going to put this a tiny bit in the waterline. This is just going to make the eyes look really bigger. It's a great tip for if you're really tired too. I'm not a really big fan of this Rimmel one. I don't think it's very pigmented. Bourjois chocolate bronzer on a Real Techniques cheek brush. I'm just going to emphasise this contour. Doesn't have too much blush on, so I'm just going to take this Rimmel London in 020 Pink Rose, and it's just a really pale pink on a Real Techniques contour brush. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on top of the apples on my cheeks. For highlight, I'm taking the highlight out of the Makeup Revolution Icon palette in Flush. Just taking this on a Real Techniques Bold Metals 300 brush. Go in with the Primark's lip liner. Primark lip liners are amazing. Oh, where's the colour on them? Is there colour on them? 01. And I'm just going to line the lips with this and fill them in. Then going in with Topshop's Secretary lipstick. And there we have the finished makeup look. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. So I'm not a big fan of winged eyeliner on me, but on Adele it looks beautiful and her face is just flawless. So I hope you've enjoyed this drugstore acne coverage eyeliner for beginners Adele inspired tutorial. The longest name in history, possibly, probably not. But there we go, we have it. Now I just want to go sing like Adele. Hello, but I can't sing, so I'm just gonna go. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video and comment on what you'd like to see next, and follow me on Instagram, like my Facebook page and Twitter, and everything's in the description bar. And now I've gone crazy and now I'm going, so yeah.